Warning: the following video contains strong language which may be offensive to some viewers and/or inappropriate for children. The content within this video is intended for mature audiences only.
Join us at WLFE-DB.com for upcoming shows and so much more.
Hey everyone, it's Tuesday night again. You know what that means, don't you? It's time to join Mike and Kristie for another episode of Where's My Sage? A show hosted by a psychic medium and a guy on a quest to find Bigfoot. Who would have thought? Together, they will take you on all sorts of adventures, and not with lots of different people. Kristie even gives readings. It's time to sit back, get up and get ready. You can't sample the universe sitting down. Your hosts are waiting. Come on, let's go.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Where's My Sage? I'm Mike with my co-host, Kristie London, who's managed to mute herself while I muted her, so she has to turn her own mute off, or we're not going to be able to listen to her this evening. So, you are muted, Kristie London. So, go ahead and unmute yourself, please. Thank you.
I'm aware. Hence this. Smart ass. So, already. She's starting already. Get the ticker out.
Yes. So, for those, right. So tonight we're coming to you from WLFE DB Radio. Where's My Sage on Facebook and YouTube? Kristie London's business page. Where's My Sage on Facebook? Where's My Sage on YouTube? Kristie London's business page on YouTube, Tactical Bigfoot Research on the regular social medias. So I think I got everybody. And then later tonight, it will be put out to all your favorite podcast locations, Spreaker, Spotify, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, and about 30 others. So just give a Google for Where's My Sage podcast, and you'll be able to find us out there. So let's say a little hello to folks tonight. Hello, Michelle.
Like slow motion. Oh, did you see the cheesecake your mom has?
No, I'll make one of those tomorrow.
See the... Oh my God, it was covered in chocolate, had whipped cream on the side. I was like, you're killing me, dude. Not like I need it, but oh my God, it looks so good.
Food's a thing.
She needs to ship some to me.
Hello, Lori. For those folks that tuned in and set up everything on YouTube the other day, we did do a live investigation, but for some reason, I haven't figured out totally yet why it didn't go to our YouTube page. I think I got it figured out. Somebody misclicked something. But it's there. I also think it's the spirit that was around the Christmas tree, but we were at the 1890 House and Museum. Hello, Kenny. Yes, we will have a skeptic one of these days. I'm going to be a skeptic every day today. Hello, Shireen. Hello, Ryan. And hi, Dave. So we are not doing messages tonight. We got a great panel. But like I said, that video is up there. It's up on YouTube. It's up on Facebook. We had a great time, great host, great location. So Kristie?
Michael? Sorry.
Yes.
Some of our guests were having some technical difficulties, so my focus is on them to try to help them and do what I need to do to help them get on here. So we have 3 out of 5 already. So bear with me.
Okay. The other quick thing, guys, we are still running the subscriber giveaway over on Instagram and YouTube. So when we hit 500 subscribers on YouTube and Instagram, we'll be giving away a Bigfoot research kit. When we hit 750 subscribers, we'll be giving a paranormal research kit, which has a backpack and the flashlights and stands for your action cameras or thermal cameras. And when we hit 1,000, I'll be giving away a X8 tactical Morgan fixed blade knife, field knife, designed for some guys in the field, designed by me actually. So, I kind of stand behind that one. It's very similar to the blade that I carry in the field. So, All right. So I see the folks are coming in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9,
We
10.
have 3 out of
Okay.
5 for the one group. So we'll get
Yep.
started, but the rest of them, the rest of the ladies that are waiting to join can always join, and we'll bring them right in for sure. Yeah, we definitely don't have to. It's not like once we bring them in, they can't come on. They definitely can. So what was that? I missed it. God, you're so freaking fast with that thing.
All right. From WLFE DB Radio. Funny, the image you post said published December 31st, 1969. Well, things happen, you know? We just go from there. So let me get rid of this.
I'm just going to tell you all too that we're not doing reading show tonight. Tonight we actually have, it's our first, my first. Mike kind of jumped on, having his own little panel show when I was unavailable having surgery back in the spring. But we have a panel show tonight, and I'm really excited because we have 4 different groups with us joining us. And we're going to have some good discussions and probably get a little rowdy and get a lot of different opinions and perspectives. It's going to be good. So, all right. Yeah, I don't want to really waste too much time because I don't think 2 hours is even going to cut it with we've actually talked about a part 2 was mentioned and maybe like a marathon was mentioned. So I could totally see that.
I'm off tomorrow. I saw you guys say about a 24 hour. So if you would like, and I will click everybody in as you go ahead and introduce our guests.
Yes. So we have Ghost Sisters with us tonight. Mandy, Chasity, Bobbie, Joe, Candy, and Jennifer. I know we have 3 out of the 5 of those ladies right now. We have Bill and Chris Reap from Reap Investigations. Hello, hello. We have from New York Paranormal, Jay Gridley is with us. And from Bearded Paranormal, Brian Baum. So welcome to the show, everybody. You can't click any faster? What the hell? No,
I can click. I can click.
So much. Welcome, everybody.
Hi.
How's everybody doing?
So this is the most I've ever.
Oh, we're gonna go to this. Going with this view. There we go. This is the first time we've had this many, so I had all my screens up for,
Mike gets a little click happy, so you have to tell him to chill the heck out with that sometimes.
Like the Brady Bunch almost.
All right, who's Alice?
Oh, that's Jennifer in the middle there.
All right.
Okay, somebody else just popped on. I think that might be who just
might be my sister.
Oh, good.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, it's weird. It said Brian.
Oh wait, it says Brian.
Brian, you pop on with 2 computers.
Oh, we got twins.
Brian.
All right. That's weird.
Okay. So welcome to the show, everybody. We appreciate you all coming. Wow, this is kind of interesting to coordinate, but we did it. Look at that. This is great. So big.
All right.
Good job, Kristie.
Yeah, I know. Mike had nothing to do with that. Or you can know.
I worked all week. Yep.
Oh, so how's everyone doing tonight?
Good.
I know Kenny Biddle.
Everybody knows. Kenny's in the audience.
I'm gonna have to give you guys buzzers. You can buzz in so I know who. I'm like, who? Who's awesome. So, awesome. So tonight, are we good, Mike? Technically speaking, on your end of things.
Yep. Somebody.
You
I got a
look
little.
like
I got a
you're
little.
concerned.
No, I got a little feedback from somebody. I'm just trying to figure out who's got the feedback, and we'll go
Yeah,
from
I
there.
can hear it too.
So.
Actually, it's a Swatch call, I think.
Nah, it's not a Squatch call. There it is.
No,
It's a chipmunk.
All right.
Oh.
It does.
Okay. It's going away.
I started muting to see whose it is. This is how we do them at the one that works, so we figure out who everybody is. So.
That sounds
One
better.
of the girls are waiting to be added on in the back room. Chasity.
Is.
I don't see her.
Yeah.
Huh.
Mhm.
Okay.
All right.
Maybe she's crashing a different broadcast.
Chewing at the cable.
Yeah, no. All right, so let's do this. Let's get the ball rolling. And what we'd really love, because there's so many of you, is to start by introducing yourselves. Give us like a brief intro, of your group and of each member. Just a quick what you each do, and maybe if you're gifted, what your gifts are, what your role is with the group and investigations. Who wants to go first?
A brief intro, huh? Well, we're the Reaps.
Yes.
That's Bill. I'm Chris. We paranormal investigate. Thank you.
And if we go through all the team members, we only have 2 hours. So
We don't most all the team members. We love them all. They're everywhere.
Yes, you have something called Reap Nation.
Yes,
we do.
Yes, it has become way more than we ever expected it to be. So we are literally coast to coast.
That's amazing.
That noise is driving Mike crazy.
His face is going to freeze like that.
Yeah, you can see it, like his blood pressure is going up.
What you need to do is turn it on and off on occasion. It's Candy's turn signal.
No, she's muted, so it's not Cindy. I lost Brian again.
Oh wait, here he comes.
Wait, here he comes. Hold on.
Stop talking. Shh.
All right. So, Jill and Chris, what do you do? Give us a brief overview of Reap Investigations.
We do historical hauntings a lot, and help them raise money at historical locations. We travel the country, Chris and I. As Chris alluded, our team is huge. We have 19 members across the country and still growing. I know it's more than that. I'm old. Listen to Chris. She'll give you the numbers.
We're now into the
Brian gets to be
20s.
Mrs. Brady.
We're now into the 20s. We have REAP teams on the West Coast. We have REAP teams in the South, the Upper Midwest, the Southeast, the Northeast, and we're on the East Coast. And we have some in Central U.S. So
we do a lot of residential work still.
Yes.
We just finished a case a few weeks ago locally. We were in Northeast PA. We were out in Boston or in the Salem, Mass area a few months back, and we've been doing this for a minute
or two.
I'm old, so I don't know, 1978 I started. So probably all of you on the panel weren't even born yet, but
that's my year.
I was 3.
Yeah.
I wasn't.
See, you're not that.
Yes, I was then. Okay. I forgot. I'm 72 now.
and so.
No way.
It's been a lot of fun, and we really enjoy doing it. We met a lot of great people over the years doing this, and we're happy that we're both retired now and travel the country doing what we love.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Very good. Thank you very much. All right, Ghost Sisters. Welcome, Bobbie Joe.
Welcome.
Hi, you guys.
Who wants to do the intros for your group? Ghost Sisters.
Okay. Yeah. Hi, I'm Mandy. I'm the lead investigator for Ghost Sisters. I started this team back in 2017, but the actual first investigation was in 2016 with my older sister, Chasity, who is not on here tonight. She's having problems signing in.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, we did our first investigation at the Mansfield prison here in Ohio, and it was really good. And then after talking, I decided that I was going to create an all-female team, and I just called up my sister one day and said, "Hey, I'm creating an all-female team, and you're on." And she kind of just went with the flow, and we created the team. 2017, and we've been going strong ever since. So
There she is.
is she on now?
Yes. Hi, welcome.
Oh, there's
Hi.
fantastic.
I think she sent me her Zoom instead of yours.
Oh,
Maybe.
I was like, why do I see the Ghost Sisters comments on the side here? I'm like, that was from yesterday.
oh.
Don't know.
So who does what with your team? What's
does
everybody's role? What's everybody's role? Who does what with your team?
Well, we kind of, when we're out investigating, we don't just, I do a little bit of everything. I set up the cameras. We all kind of work together as a team when we're out there setting up the cameras and deciding on who's going to do what. I go through most of the cameras and listen to the recordings, and we just kind of work together more.
Is anybody gifted? Is anybody not gifted? Is anybody specific
hear
roles?
I couldn't hear
Mandy's gifted.
Oh yeah, is anybody? I think Mike had me muted. Sorry.
I heard you.
He has a really bad habit of doing that, but I'm not unmuting himself. Who is somebody? Are there anybody? Is there anyone gifted? Is anyone not gifted? Are there roles that get played that way?
Yes, I'm a medium empath, and Jennifer, I'll let her tell you what she is. Go ahead, Jennifer.
Okay.
Well, I can definitely sense them when they come around. I have the feelings when they come close. I kind of get this convulsion feeling, and then when they're on top of me, I get like thousands of needles constantly through my nervous system. But I actually been practicing with what's called psychometry, which I did not realize that I had any possibility of doing that. I had 5 psychic mediums actually tell me that my hands are my tools and energies in my hands, and I just never realized that. I don't know how I could not realize that, but it's actually been something we've been testing at different locations and have come up with the exact year that a woman passed away. It was exact year. I could describe her to you by touching a wheelchair that belonged to the owner, and she said everything I described was her grandmother. So that's something new to me. I'm just kind of practicing right now. We'll see how that goes. I need some more different locations. I'm going to do that at the shrine this weekend as well and practice that on different objects. But so far, everything has come out accurate on that.
Very neat. Very neat.
I see my other sister, Bobbie Jo's on too. Yeah.
Yes, I think we have all now, don't we? Do we have all 5 of you on?
Yep.
The only person we're missing right now is Brian.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be a stand-in.
Brian's having complications.
He is. It keeps kicking him out. So, yeah, he can just. We definitely want him to keep trying to pop on here. I don't know if it's connection with the internet, like with on his side or ours. Or I don't know if it's
I don't know.
Yeah.
If everybody could mute for 1 second, I'm just trying to figure out where we're getting the feedback from.
Sure.
And okay. It's gone. All right, we'll start in the bottom. No, it's right there still. Hang on, Kristie.
Hello?
That's where I thought it was coming from. Okay, everybody can unmute. Kristie, you need to repair your earbuds.
Are you kidding me?
Apple iPods, I found turned grab everything that goes on in the universe. So. Except somebody you're talking to.
Whatever.
All right.
All right.
So,
There's a lot in here tonight.
All right, there we go. So, yeah, we're gonna try bring Brian. Brian, try coming back in with us one more time, and we'll bring it back in. So,
Brian
visiting?
said, well, unless he's still there, Brian said he's done for the night. He thinks this is connection.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's better. Yeah. It's that background's gone. Yeah, it's back a little bit now.
Yeah, you know why? Because my earbuds aren't connecting at all for some reason. Hello?
Yep.
They're not connecting at all for some reason. Oh, now they are. Really?
All right.
I'm done.
To our studio audience, we apologize. Sometimes technology and the whole universe goes real crazy, and we try to figure out where we're going here. So figure out what's going on. Maybe it's me. Remove me and bring me back in.
You know what? If it's him, no, we're still hearing it though, aren't we?
Oh my goodness. There he is.
Nope.
It changed.
Not me.
I was going to grab the headphones and hand them up to him.
I have never had this issue ever. All right, Michael, do me a favor. I'm going to X out for a second, and I'm going to get some earbuds and plug them in. Can you carry on with this? Or do you
Yes, I can.
Okay.
It's probably Mandy and her ghost.
So, Jay, you're up. Where's your group from? And
well, it's funny this is happening because this shows like the real life of a paranormal investigator, technical issues. And it's all the time. It seems like every time something happens and something goes wrong, you really want to work that night. But yeah, I'm Jake Ridley, and I'm the founder of New York Paranormal, upstate New York, up in Rochester. And yeah, I've been around forever. Yeah, same as Mike. Mike and I have worked together numerous times over the years, and yeah, we do basically specialize in like private home investigations. We do a lot of house cleansings. We do a lot of public investigations. I'm kind of known up here for doing public fundraising, where a haunted location, like an old hotel or something like that, is having issues, and then they'll call me and I'll come in and I'll organize a fundraising campaign where I bring in 20, 30 guests, and they all pay a cover charge, and all the money goes 100% towards the hotel or wherever I'm investigating, museum or store or whatever. And then I've done it up here over the years, but over 20 times, and everyone is sold out. So I've been real lucky with that and had a lot of good luck with it. And I have I think right now I'm up to 29 people in my group. I have a core of about 10 that I've been investigating with for many years. And then the rest are all like either in training or else they have like special guests, that we use when needed. And that helps us to take advantage of all the private investigation calls that we get, because we get calls quite often up here. A lot of areas up here have a lot of activity going on, a lot of old land. A lot of residual stuff going on, a lot of intelligent stuff going on, and yeah, so we stay pretty busy up here.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. And Kristie had the questions going. So, if let's see, I'm going to go with it. I'm a gear guy, so we're going to go with the gear question. What is everybody's favorite piece of equipment? We'll just kind of follow the squares around. Brian's getting bounced out, and I don't understand why he's getting bounced out. Again, we've been using this program for a while, and I don't think I've ever had this kind of feedback. So,
well, I'm hearing the feedback. Was it my earbuds or wasn't it my earbuds?
Yeah, it's not you.
No way, really?
Mandy.
It's all right. You just wanted to show to yourself. I gotcha. What did I miss?
It's Kenny Biddle.
He's jamming us. So what's everybody's favorite piece of equipment to use?
I guess I'll start. I like a variety of equipment. I like to use the ink box made by Katie Stafford. And I also like to use the intercom box made by Jay Prather. And I'm really starting to like the, I really like the REM pod, because I love how something has to actually go near it to set this thing off, you know? And it just lets us know, you know, there's definitely some static electricity around it. But those would be my three main ones that I love.
You said Jay Prather made?
Jay Prather.
Yes, I got to meet him. He actually is going to be on the show at some point. We had to unfortunately put him on hold, and then I believe his mom passed away just a few days after my dad did. So it kind of worked out in a negative kind of way. But yeah, so he was supposed to come on the show. He's such a nice guy, and he really does a lot with that. So I'm not surprised to hear you say you like his equipment. So that's really neat. Yeah, he's a really nice guy. Huh. Very cool. Okay, who do we use now? Okay, so who wants to go next? Jay.
Yeah, I'll go next. Probably my favorite piece of equipment, I have a couple, would be a Poltercom spirit box that I got from Paranologies. That one works very well for me. I've been using it a lot and use it in every investigation. Besides that, I like to use a trail cam, an infrared trail cam made by Browning, and those are great to use. You set them up in an active area and just kind of leave them alone and let them do the work. You know, they're all motion sensitive, and so if anything moves in front of it, then it'll definitely pick it up. And those come in very handy. So those are my two favorite. And plus, I'm also getting into the SLS cams, you know, the Connect SLS cams too. And I'm going to start using those more. I want to take those to a cemetery and see what I can get it.
Yeah, I love them. I like it because they validate me, you know, with what I'm saying and doing. I'm sure other people who are more mediums into what I do. You know, you have something that can validate your gifts, make them better, you know, for people to do it. It's neat because I think it's really cool. You know, it's exciting. All right, who's next? I don't know what mom is signing.
I'll go. I have to agree with Mandy on the ink box. We get so much communication through that ink box, and we actually have had spirits come through there that have come through from Hinsdale House in New York that are actually locked in our boxes now. And he was locked in. CCP and SOP went up there for an investigation, and this Mr. James was said he was a preacher, a 200-year-old preacher from the tabernacle was in it, and now he's locked in everyone's box, including Mandy's, other different teams. He comes through every single ink box. That's amazing. I don't know how he does that, but it's the exact same guy every time. That box, I think, is really incredible because I've never seen that happen. That a spirit can connect to every single box.
Wow. Very interesting. Huh. Who else? Just jump in. Guys.
I like the mist spray. It's a tie between the mist spray and the ink box. Where we get a picture of we do a mist spray where we get a picture of the spirit.
Oh, a mist.
We have an app that we use, and we use lighting and water to capture spirit. We record it with this app, and then we go back through it really slow, and we capture different images. But we have to be careful because, you know, we're meant to see, you know, images of our faces, so paranoia can set in. But we have captured some really amazing pictures by using this app. That's what she's talking about. It's we just call it the mist spray.
That's really neat. I love that. Mike, we should try that.
Something similar to that we've used is a fog machine, and fog machines also work with the same premise.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just watch out for the.
I like that.
Yep.
We have one.
Found out the hard way on that one.
Awesome. Oh, he did it again. There it is.
I want to know why
the night.
there is something with technology tonight that I have yet to figure out why we're having this issue. Because literally, as I did not mute and started moving my hands around, this little thing comes up and says you're muted, and I'm like, it wasn't you, it wasn't me. The computer's telling me I'm muted tonight. So it is. You guys are definitely bringing the spirits.
With a lot of mediums, a lot of gifted people in one chat here. So we actually have a question.
Yeah, let's go there.
We have a question. Yeah, we have a question.
So from Dominic, what is it called? An ink box? I'm not familiar. So what's an ink box? And I'm not sure what it is. So it's a great question. Anybody?
Yeah.
It is a device that it looks like it's really cool. It looks like one of those boom boxes from like the 90s. It's really cool. And what it does, it sweeps through all the channels, all these radio waves, and it picks up. It's not like static electricity, or there's not a lot of echoing. It's just basically sweeping through these radio stations, and it just comes through so clear.
So it's like an SB7, just in a boombox form.
Yeah, so the ghost can unscramble the words that they hear and try to speak, like communicate them.
Yes, and it's got different suites. You can do different things with it, and it also has like where you can put tapes in it.
Yeah.
And you can record your EVPs just like you would a song off the radio station.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Pretty cool.
Well, you can hear them pretty clear on there. They're pretty clear.
They are.
It sounds like spirit boxes kind of just have a different
it's
depending on where you
Love
live.
that.
Yeah, it's not putting the words together. They're actually speaking.
Yes.
It's not like Obelisk where they have to put the words together.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So it's a hack shack on steroids.
There you go.
And just so you all know, Dominic is actually part of the WLFEDB families, and he has a show on as well. So yeah, so thanks for tuning in tonight, Dom. Awesome. So I'd like to talk a little bit about your approaches and your techniques that you all like to use going into an investigation. And I know it can vary depending on, whether it's a private investigation, with the residents versus a public, place, things like that. And it can also, depend on what the purpose or the goal is of that particular investigation or event. But I'd like to know, are there things that you have all found that work better for you, as opposed to other techniques and approaches? So who wants to start?
I will.
All right.
How's that?
Take it away, Bill.
All right. Depending on what type of an investigation we're doing, the approaches are two totally different. If we're doing a residential haunting, it's a very, extensive process.
Mm-hmm. But no matter what, there's always an interview.
Yes. I don't care where we're going. It could be an off-the-hook place that everybody in the world has had experiences on. We still do an interview before we go in. Because been doing this so long, I'm still skeptical, believe it or not. Caught some great evidence over the years, but there's not enough input from the community and the scientific community to prove or disprove. Remember, we're just trying to explain why natural occurrences aren't doing what we're, what's causing what's happening. There is no, when you get into like REM pods and K2s and things like that measure EMF frequencies. If you don't do a sweep, get baseline readings and everything prior to using that equipment, you really can't say whether it's a RF coming off of a breaker box, or if it's a spirit. You have no idea. So you got to do baseline theory as you start. And I don't care if it's a private location or a historical location. Like Chris was alluding, we do an extensive interview process. On a location, it's not as extensive. On
a historical location, we're trying to help, or especially a private residence. We go through a very long interview process. There's a questionnaire. It gets very personal. Some of the stuff we ask people are there's a privacy guarantee. We kind of treat it like HIPAA, and only what you allow us to tell others we will tell. But everything has to do with it. If you're doing a private investigation and there's a young child, the question of is anyone on their menstrual cycle, it's a pertinent question because energies can be so inflamed. And so, each interview is very in-depth. And so that's one thing they all have.
I mean, we video record our interviews because Chris and I are ex-law enforcement, and we worked in the prison system. So we like to read body language. The other eyes are, Mike could relate to this, I'm sure, and kind of get an understanding of the interview. It also helps down the line, because you're getting a good feel of the place. But if you're doing a residential house, you need to understand that you are entering someone's lives. So if you haven't been doing this for a minute and your intentions aren't to help, but just to say that there is a spirit in the house or something, be very, very careful and be very, very mindful of what you're doing, because, we're just trying to get answers.
Yeah. But basically, we like to have the interview, go and do a pre-walkthrough, get readings, talk to whoever's going to be investigating with us about where people are going to be, who's going to use what equipment, and at the end of the night, come together, compare evidence, do a quick wrap-up, and then later on follow up with a full-blown debriefing.
Very good. Very good. Who wants to go next?
I'll go. I definitely agree with the Reaps. I mean, they hit the nail on the head as far as the pre-interview, process, with the private investigations. Something else that I always bring to my team, and I mention it every time, is to be mindful of your energy walking into a house. Because if we're doing a private investigation and all of a sudden 5 or 6 investigators come charging in while this energy ramped up, trying to find out what's going on, it's going to affect the overall energy of the house. And it's going to drive that spirit out of there in a second. And they're going to stay out of there until we leave, until the energy of the house goes back to where it's comfortable, and then it'll come back out again. So that's what I always make sure to let my investigators know, is when you go walking into a person's house, do it with a very open mind and a very friendly manner, like you're going to visit an old friend, because you don't want to disrupt the energy in that house and push anything out that you're going to try to communicate with.
Absolutely. You also want to be careful how many you go in with. With the private residence, I mean, the smaller your group, the better.
Definitely. Absolutely.
How about it, ladies?
Go ahead, Mandy.
Well, we have done, a lot of residential cases and a lot of private investigations. What we would do is, if it's a residential case, we will talk it over with the person, see what's going on, talk it over with the team, decide if we're going to take the case or not, depending on the circumstances. If we decide to take the case, we like to go and do a sweep. And that's where we'll go and we'll just kind of bring some of our devices and just actually kind of see what's going on, get a feel. And then we'll set up when we're going to come and investigate. We'll interview the family and, see what's going on. And I have went in and done spiritual writing where I'm connecting with the energies, the lower energies. And I have been able to use some of the words that I have gotten in my writing to use when we're out there investigating and compare. Like I might pick up on someone that died in a home what happened to them. I'll get a name. It just depends. And we'll try to put everything together, because a lot of these people, they think that there's something evil. And a lot of times we found out that it's just a negative energy. It's a mean person. How you are now is how I believe you are when you're in spirit. So if you're an angry person, you're going to be an angry spirit, you know. So we were able to debunk a lot of these situations going in. Come to find out, most of the cases we were handling, it wasn't anything demonic. It was basically family members or just people who had lived there and passed away, that were, some were just angry and confused. So, and you know, and after we would collect all of our evidence, we have would meet up with the families and show them all the evidence we captured. We've even saged people's homes, and you know, just to make them feel comfortable.
Sure.
And never heard anything back, so it must have worked. So
good. It's always a plus, right? Oh, hi, who's that? He's like, get out of here, get.
We are now 41 minutes into the show, and Mike is still trying to find that cricket.
I believe it's in Pennsylvania.
That's what I keep hearing at night. I went down it. The dog keeps barking at something that is not visible to us. And it's very specifically a certain spot every night. So I keep telling them there's no one there, but I finally went, okay, so there's no one there that I'm seeing.
All right, I'm gonna keep Brian coming into the conversation. I'm just gonna put his comments down below. Unfortunately, Brian's lock doesn't want to go in. So yeah, it's not him coming in from Pennsylvania. I have pulled everything apart, and I'm about to grab a backup computer in about 2 seconds here, just to make sure it's not me.
I'm glad I ain't the only one. It's annoying.
Aw, I know, and I'm so sorry, Brian. Definitely put your make sure you get your input into the comments so we can all see it and everyone else can see it too. Oh my goodness. So is there a technique or a strategy or an approach that you find, and I know this is not foolproof. I mean, every time you go into something or a situation, it can be different. But is there something that you find that works for your particular group and the people and the gifts that you bring to the table, that works better than others? Have you found that certain ways, something is more tried and true for your groups, because we all, just like our own gifts as mediums, we still work in different ways, even though we share the same kinds of gifts. When you have certain energies together, things are going to work differently. Mike and I can go in and have one approach because of our energy and our gifts and what we bring, as opposed to the Reaps and, Ghost Sisters and Jay and his group. So, and Brian and Peter Paranormal. So do you find that there's something that is more tried and true for each of your groups?
Well, you kind of have to experiment and kind of try different things out, because with my group, whenever we do an investigation, I always try to have, one investigator, one skeptic, one medium. And so we'll kind of play off each other and our energies and try to get something, to come through and to communicate with us. If not, I'll try to have, if I'm doing a lot of the talking, I'll stop and I'll back out of the room and I'll have my female investigator start talking for me and see if they can't invoke something to come forward that might be a little more comfortable, with a female, energy. And it's hit or miss based on the location. But usually if you have a good energy and you're calm and you're respectful and you note your intentions when you first show up, then you usually get something. Someone will come through.
I mean, when we go, we respect each of our team members. Each team member has a job to do. And I mean, we've been together, investigating together for so long. I mean,
it's second nature.
Everybody on our team, we're talking decades for some of them that we've been investigating with. And, we work well together. We know what our jobs are. We know what our gifts are, those who have gifts and kind of push them aside. because, as Kristie, you and I and Chris talked about when you were a guest on our show, everybody has abilities to an extent. It's you need to respect what your team can do. The biggest thing that you need to drill into people's heads is if you're going to use equipment, REM pods or whatever, you need to know how it works, what the frequency is, what does it measure, how has it worked, how can it help you debunk what you're doing, and totally know it, dead solid how it works, frequencies. If you're using apps, talk to the developer on what the algorithms are and what they use to put in there, or if it's a piece of equipment that you're going to start to use and you don't know it intrinsically, inside out and backwards, you need to ask the builder, okay, did you put anything in here? Is there any kind of, voice simulators, or how is it picking up the frequencies? What is the sweep, and so on, so that you know what's going on. I mean, so much of a part of this paranormal investigating has gotten so, if it doesn't go beep, 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 or blink, 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 it's not hunting ghosts, it's not catching ghosts.
Right.
And that's further from the truth, because those are just things that are really based on entertainment purposes. They have a very slight scientific model inside that case, and you need to know how it works so that you can use it to, prove or disprove and debunk what's going on in a location.
Yeah, and there's always a point in any of our investigations where we'll be going, doing our serious and very professional manner, and then we'll just kind of start talking back and forth, and there'll be laughter and joking around, and we're not really paying attention to what we're doing. But I don't use I don't do a lot of EVP sessions. I tend to get ignored during EVP sessions, but I tend to run a recorder the entire time of the investigation near me, so I can record what happened when. I don't like to write things down. It takes too much time. It's dark, and I won't be able to spit it out. So I keep that with me so I can make all these notes. But if we play it back during the time period where we're just joking around and we're BSing and having a good time, when we play it back so many times, we'll find spirits just kind of joining in and yada, 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 and when we're not paying attention. Sometimes it's like, excuse us, we're over here, you came to see us. And other times they're talking amongst themselves, or they're responding to something a team member has said. So I think sometimes just upping the energy in the room with your banter and ignoring what you were there to do can create more positive responses.
Mm-hmm. Chasity, we haven't heard from you. What do you think?
Huh?
What do you think? What is your opinion?
I'm sorry, I forgot the question. I was just listening and I forgot the question.
Is there something is there an approach, or is there a technique or a way of doing things that you find works better for you, or something that, a way of doing things that you girls fall back to that's more tried and true for you? And of course, it depends on the situation and things like that. But is there a way of doing things that you find is more beneficial when you go to work?
I think we'd get a lot of, when we're together, we seem to get a lot of more stuff. We seem to get a lot of stuff when we're together, when we do the thing. A lot of role playing, when we do a lot of role playing, or, sometimes when we do leave like somebody alone in the room, like we left Bobbie Jo, our sister, in the basement. Mandy's been in the basement, and just I think it's on the night, how the night goes, where you're at. I think it's all based on that, because one thing might be good and then another thing might be good in another time. It just varies, I think.
Okay. Very good.
Makes sense?
Yeah, it does. No, it really does. Because there's not really any rhyme or reason, but depending on, sometimes, depending on the gifts of the people involved and the energy when you're together and when you're apart, like you said, sometimes, and it can be dependent on where you're going or what you're doing or what the goal is for that particular investigation or event. So interesting. Very good. Very good. Anybody else want to? No?
I'll do a lot of.
Okay, now I've talked with every single one of you except for Chasity and Jennifer, and I know you guys can talk a lot more than that.
We do. I agree with her. I think it's the environment. I mean, we went to a funeral home Friday night. We had some major activity in there. We very first walked in. It was, disembodied voices. We had movement in the basement. Sound like buckets were being thrown. Different situations. I saw a shadow a couple times, and as you know, a funeral home is going to have extremely dark energy because it's all death, and this place has extremely dark energy. Has a lot of children and so forth in there as well. But we encountered some dark energy on Friday night that actually was chasing us, and it charged us up the stairs. And you can actually hear in our video where it sounds like it's going on 4 feet, and then it lifts itself up on 2 feet, and then comes up the stairs.
Really?
So this was wild. And then I woke up the next day where I guess he punched me. And I woke up on Saturday morning, my whole face was red. There's a scratch across my face, and it was all swollen. So when Mandy and I tried to get back up the stairs away from this because it was coming straight at us, she went opposite direction. I went another direction, and by the time I had to come back past that basement door, I think that's when he slapped me or punched me or something.
Boy, am I glad Mike has pants on.
What'd he say?
He said it's so glad Mike has pants on.
I thought he said he pulled his pants up.
I have pants on.
I was thinking that same thing. What kind of show is this?
What are you doing over there?
Show. I'm trying to figure out where the problem is over there. Switching computers.
Oh my God.
I've tried 3 computers trying to figure out why that feedback is in there.
Let it go. Let it go. You have to run a commercial in about 5 minutes, so let it go. Oh my God. I know. I saw his camera go down, and I'm like,
There goes the PG rating.
I'm sorry. Okay, somebody get me the doll so I could show them where Mike. No, never mind.
Mish, we love you too.
oh my God. All right, Michael, you're killing me tonight, dude.
I'm done.
Okay. Do you have any questions? Yes.
We actually captured some pretty good stuff there at the funeral home. I had a night vision camera set upstairs in a bedroom, and we had just set this camera up, and it was captured probably 10 or 15 minutes afterwards, and I did post it on our sites. You do see this weird, now we're not going to say it's an apparition, but a lot of people are saying it is. This weird thing just appeared in the middle of the room, and it looks like a head and a torso. It's white, and it just moves right across. Now, we tried to debunk this, and I still can't debunk it, and I don't know what it is. It's something weird, and we did get a lot of activity in this room. We have also had a lot of good EVPs in that room when we investigated in that room before with another team. So, I mean, to capture whatever this is, it was pretty amazing, and it was just all females there. I think being all females and the spirit that's pretty mean that's there, he doesn't like women.
Right.
I think they were just, I don't know, it was such an active night, and you had to watch the live feed to see all this, how it was going down. And it was very interesting, but we got some really good evidence. And again, we don't know what that was that we captured, but a lot of people seem to think it is something, an apparition or something, because I have played this over and over at different angles, trying to figure this out. And I've done slow motion and everything. And it's weird. It just forms right in the middle and just moves right across.
I'm going to have to go back and
Very
watch that.
Yeah.
That's
Mandy,
really
if you want to share it, you can do a screen share. Or,
Really?
if you want to, yeah, we can do that. If it's on your website, if you want to put that in the private chat on the side, and then I can bring it right in through another screen.
How do
So,
I do that?
Yeah, Mandy, I
Jennifer,
did
can
see
you do
that
it?
post.
You can share it.
I was on your page today.
Yep.
And, I saw the evidence that you're talking about, and that was very cool.
Did
I'll
you?
go back.
What was your opinion on that?
I think it was definitely something paranormal because I was watching it because it was like over a chair or something, and
Yes,
I
yes.
saw where it kind of went. When it moved across the room, it went behind like the top ring of the chair or something like that, and it was very cool. It was definitely something. I'll have to go back and look at it again.
Really?
Definitely unexplainable. We couldn't figure it out.
which
Very, very energy based. You could tell it was energy of some sort.
which page do you want me to show it from?
Ghost Sisters?
That's exciting. That's really exciting. I know when we were just at the 1890 house a few days ago, we had 80 monitors that we used, the video ones, and we had set the ball right on these stairs up in this billiard room, and there's these 3 steps that go up into this like I think octagon type shaped room, which was set up like a little playroom with a little Christmas tree in the middle. And we were in the middle of doing our interview with the gentleman who takes care of the house and who lives at the house. And, all of a sudden, the monitor next to Mike starts beeping. And he's like, we lost that camera. So when we went upstairs, it was it knocked over, Mike, or was it just out? It was knocked over, right?
No, it was just out. It was just weird.
It was out, but they didn't want us there because then when we tried to communicate, we did catch a few images on the SLS that we had with us. But when we used the flashlight, the mag light to communicate, they said we don't want you up here, and that was it. So it was really hard. So we're like, okay, we got the message. You cut our camera out, and then you said no, we don't want you because it kept moving everywhere. Like you'd see little flashes here, see little flashes there, and it communicated just enough to tell us, no, we don't want to talk to you. We don't want you up here. So we went to a different room. It's really, they can really get down to business when they want to get their point across, and it's really fascinating when that happens. It's exciting, I can't wait to go back and look at that clip.
Yeah, I had something that was grabbing at me. It grabbed me twice that night when we were at the funeral home.
Really? And and that brings me to another question that I was going to ask, because that's one of the reasons I wanted men and women for this show and this panel. Ladies, we're going to start with you guys. Girls first. Tell me about, because it's just like not a simple question. Tell me about, the differences and the things that you notice when it comes to men versus women, when it comes to investigations and how we approach and how we attack things and how we go about doing things.
Jennifer, you want to start?
I'm still thinking.
I think as women, we tend to go in with a more open heart, a little less on task, boom, 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 we need to do this, and we tend to follow our hearts a little more. We get more communication from childlike spirits simply because of the mom thing that goes on. And I think we're a little less stressed about everything. Well, at least me. I don't stress about anything. So, I go in, I'm very relaxed, I'm very calm. I don't stress about, oh no, the camera in the other room fell over and we need to put it upright again. Or there keeps chirping in the video, and I don't stress about that. I just kind of sit back and let things happen as they happen. And I think it's one thing I notice in more and more women is that we do tend to go a little less stressed about the entire process.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Well, I try not to, but if I can't get my camera set up correctly, I do stress. Plus, the energies in the area will affect me. Like, if there's something negative around, it'll affect me. Like at the funeral home, I was getting angry at my sister. And and you could just see it. And I told her, I said, look, I'm getting angry, and I'm trying not to be angry towards you, but I can't help it. The energies were just, I felt energies all over me, and it was just making me be angry towards my sister. It really was.
Oh yeah, I've experienced stuff like that where we were in some woods, and when I was in the yard, I was fine. But as soon as we stepped into the woods, I really wanted to kill the two women I was at. I wanted to put Barry knife in them because I wanted to keep that secret of what was there on that land. And it wasn't me, but you know, once I got myself out of the woods, it was back to normal, and they were perfectly fine. You know, I didn't feel any way towards them, but step back in the woods, and man, I wanted to murder people, literally.
Anxiety, the anxiety takes over.
Seriously, and if you're an empath or you're a medium, those energies are going to know. You know, it's important that we keep ourselves grounded and in control to know, you know, and to be able to, like you did, Mandy, verbalize and say, this is what's going on.
Right. And that's not so much a male versus female thing. That's just kind of gift versus non-gift in that situation.
Right. But I agree. I think even with the way Mike and I approach certain things, you know, he's already looking in one direction. I'm already looking in another. We're looking at two very different perspectives. And, you know, he's looking at technical stuff. He's looking at, you know, pipes and wires. And he's, you know, and here I'm, as a woman, I'm just like you said, Chris, walking in, and I'm just ready to just kind of take it in and see where it goes in a way. And, you know, as a medium though, at the same time, I'm also allowing myself to be open to whatever else is, you know, and trying to welcome things in. But you're right. I feel like more than not, because of how women are versus how men are, just our natures, you know, a lot of times they're willing to talk to me over Mike, or even really a lot of other males that I've investigated with. I think it's just because we are women and we're more open, or we're more whatever. Forget what your background is, forget what you do for a living, you know, forget anything like that. I think it's women are more open-minded and, like you said, less stressed and kind of relaxed about certain things, but it's our nature. It's not that men can't be, and that we can't be assertive or aggressive, or if I'm in a bad mood, that's not going to come out, because it certainly will. Ask my husband and he'll tell you. However, even ask my work husband over there. There have been times where Greg's like, you know what, you can go talk to Mike because I'm
run.
Yeah, seriously. But no, it's like, but so, I mean, we can definitely, but I just find it interesting how he always just kind of zeroes in and goes one way and I go another, or I call him for that reason. If I'm doing something and then I'm like, I need my partner on this one, I needed, you know, his opinion, you know, or vice versa, you know, that's happened too. And it's very helpful. And because I actually prefer myself sometimes to not be let in on something until after. I prefer to go in cold. Or going as little as possible, because for me, I'm a medium first. The investigation and the investigative stuff is fun, and it definitely plays a huge part, but I am a medium first no matter what. And so, you know, that's just, I can't get away from that. It's what I'm supposed to do. It's who I am. You know, it's my part, my life, and I want it as authentic as possible. But the other part of things is so necessary. You know, you need to do the investigation. You need to do the interview. You need that other information as well. So it's like a balance. All right, Matt, what do you think? What was it? Let's flip that.
Okay, I got the Facebook one ready too. So,
Surprised you're not jumping right in here, Mike.
Well, you know.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
It happens. I mean, I got near that Christmas tree the other night, and I knew no way it should have been turned off. And literally every time I think about the Christmas tree, it was like, okay, there was a Christmas tree upstairs. Kristie said, turn it off. And it was like something said, nope, it's not turning off. It's going to stay right where it is.
What happened, Mike? when you didn't turn it off.
I got kicked out of the room by the spirit, you know. Do you want it here? Pink, 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 pink. Yep. Okay, everything's working towards me. I'm going to walk out of the room. That's fine with me. Go check out the popcorn makers downstairs.
And then night, we had to ask if you were allowed back in the room, and then you had to go stand in the doorway behind me. I was like, "You're not going to listen. I'm going to show you." So yeah, that was pretty crazy. Yes. So Jay, what do you think? How working with men versus women, or?
Yeah, I think women definitely bring an added bonus to the investigation because I think there's just a less threatening value, and that the spirits are more open to talk to women, where male energy can definitely come across more aggressive and can kind of really work against us when we're trying to get trust from a spirit, trying to show them respect. It's harder for us to do that, especially if when that spirit was alive, if they had a bad run-in, if they were killed by a man or whatever, if something next would happen while they were alive, that makes it twice as hard. So yeah, it's definitely good to have a mix of both, in the group. That's why, like I said earlier, if I'm doing a lot of the talking and I'm not getting a whole lot of responses back, then I'll have one of my female investigators kind of take over. I'll kind of back out of the room a little bit and see if that will help us, get some more reactions.
Yeah.
I think it's good to have, it comes into the play of men and women in teams. It's good to have, I have no problem with teams that are all women or all men. But I think when that's the case, you're missing out on that balance of being able to say, look, us guys aren't getting anything here. Let's have the women address what's going on. I think the more variation you have, the more balance and opportunities you have.
Hello, Mr. Tim Shaw. And I don't know why he's hiding behind a pizza, but
it is a big ass slice of pizza.
That was a before picture.
Yeah. The other question is, what do you guys see with your backgrounds if you get different interactions? There's a lot of places to go that I don't get interactions, or we get different interactions. And,
I'll
it's just
say, being in corrections, I'm in corrections. When we go to jails or prisons, we get all kinds of stuff. Actually, Chasity and I's first investigation, like I was saying, was at the Mansfield prison. I had a GoPro on, and we captured some really good stuff. And I actually believe we captured Frank, the guard. He was killed in solitary, and the lights were still on, and we were down in that solitary area. You can see the guard walking all in black, and he walks just like a guard. And if you're in corrections in that field, I know how I walk when I'm walking by the cells and looking in. He walked like he was walking by, looking down the hall, and then he turned around and did the same thing. And then we caught a shadow figure in the hallway at the same time. And I was announcing, when we were there, I would mention, I'm in corrections, I work in law enforcement, my name is so-and-so, and trying to use some of my techniques, that I would in the field that I work in. And we do get a lot of stuff. We do a lot of play roles, too, with that.
Okay.
Very interesting. Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I think a lot of that, a lot of your background, job occupation, education, ethnicity, your religion, all of those things play into factor when you're investigating. So you need to be open and be able to, switch gears very, very quickly. Just because we go to an 1890 house doesn't mean we're going to get a spirit from 1890.
Right.
Right.
I agree.
Or just because, this house now is, there's a house there now, but, 200 years ago, it could have been native land. It could have been anything.
Oh, yeah.
So you need to know the background, the history of the locations, et cetera, and do some extensive research on the properties, But yeah, definitely, who you are definitely brings a lot to the investigation.
Yeah, and it's what you draw from. I mean, we're both retired corrections as well, and I find myself when I'm in jail cells, I go into CO mode.
Yeah.
I'm telling them to lock up, and I'm trying to get responses by acting as if I'm on duty, and I need to show that presence of a correctional officer, telling my inmates, it's time to lock up, lights out, speak up, ma'am, sir, that kind of thing. And we do get more responses when we can relate to the environment we're in. Mm-hmm. But as Bill said, not every spirit in a building is going to be to that time period or there for that reason. So you need to pay attention to all of it as well. Mm-hmm. But yeah, you
brought commissary in. I wore my utility belt, and we've had nightstick. We actually investigated one of our jails that had closed down. It was the Marion Sheriff's Office, and we were the first ones to ever investigate there. As a matter of fact, no one has ever investigated there with us. And we actually had a deputy that was with us, and he was play rolling with us. So he was actually walking up and down the aisle, and us girls was in separate cells trying to get, their attention. And it was pretty good.
Oh, reenacting is a great way. Making yourself and your team a trigger object is awesome.
Oh, yeah.
You've laid on Sachs Bridge as a wounded soldier calling from Vinvandier.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Those things work,
We're at the 9 o'clock hour, so unfortunately I got to do a quick commercial and we'll come back in. So folks, we got to quick run to the bathroom and grab you something to drink. It's time. So here's a quick commercial from WLFE DB Radio.
WLFE-DB.com, where you can find vodcast shows, podcasts, and more, like Where's My Sage, Inside the Drag Closet, Across the Pond, Paratalk Radio, Just Cindy, and more. So go check out WLFE-DB.com, where talk radio is a whole lot better. Our shows are your shows, and that there makes for a great talk radio.
Hey guys and dolls, this is Casey DeVille, the better half of DeVille Inc., Baltimore, Maryland. If you're ever in Baltimore, stop in and see me and Tony. Invisible Bree, 5920 Eastern Avenue, Baltimore, Maryland, 21224. Give us a call if you're in the area, 410-400-9641, or look us up on the web at DeVilleInc.com. DeVille Inc., where we specialize in you.
Ted Van Son Jr. is a seasoned investigator and well-versed in the ways of paranormal investigation. He is now ready to share his ideas and unique approach with all of you. Flashlight, recorder, and comfortable shoes. Hit the ground running as you follow this easy step-by-step guide to a fun and thorough paranormal investigation, perfect for first-time and lightly seasoned investigators. Think outside the paranormal box. Learn all about the technology and techniques used back in the early days of paranormal investigation. You can find these valuable resources online at Goodreads, Barnes & Noble, Walmart, and Amazon. Get yours today.
Hi, I'm Jenna Grover. In the world of fashion, we get lost in the cost. Everyone wants that special piece of quality jewelry, but they can't afford it. Not on my watch. I sell handmade quality jewelry for a fraction of the price, and that includes jewelry made of sea glass, natural stone, crystal beads, glass beads, Bigfoot jewelry, and more. If you don't see what you want, email me, because I make custom jewelry too. Check out my website at gbythesea.com. Also, you can email me at jewelry@gbythesea.com.
You're listening to WLFE DB Radio. Now, back to our program.
Well, thank you, folks, for staying with us this evening. And please like, share, subscribe, and join us up. So tonight we have a paranormal panel, and we are with the Ghost Sisters, Jay Gridley from New York Paranormal, and Chris and Bill Reap and their faithful companion there from Investigations.
Wait a second. Is that Houdini? Is that Houdini?
Yeah.
Scooby.
That's Scooby.
So,
I love
I was gonna go back here to.
Hey, Mike, I sent a photo to your Facebook Messenger because I had no other way to send it.
Yep, and you want to share that one there? We can go ahead and do that. So,
Sure.
All right, let's. We'll go quick. We'll go to the Ghosters page first. So let me pull that one up over here. Shrink down Bill's page. There we go. We'll come back to that in a second. And share screen. Share screen is going to be application. That one. Okay. There we go.
Tutorial.
So, which video are we looking for from the ladies here? That you mentioned you had your little. So we're on Facebook. One up. Nope. This one here.
Yes.
All right. Right see there. If we can. All right. It's doing the thing again. There we go. Okay, that's interesting.
Oh wow! Look at it go.
Yeah,
I'm blind.
I went blank.
That's weird.
It's a black bear at night.
Huh.
That's a very large shadow figure.
Yeah, that was interesting. Let's try that again. I don't know what happened there. This is definitely the most interesting.
Kristie, you're muted again.
Hey, I will tell you this: when we've done podcasts in the past, we've had stuff happen. People were hearing growling and everything on podcasts that we've done before. It was interesting.
On one of your lives?
When we've done podcasts before with other people, it was just us girls and the people, and other people were saying they were hearing growling. Yes.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean we've been using this program for a year, and tonight's technology issues.
That's all that energy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Kristie did it.
All right, let's try this a third time.
I don't want to hear it.
But it is always my fault. We'll just go with that. It's just my fault, and we'll just go from there. All right, there we go. We're gonna try this again. All right, can everybody see? We're gonna go down and this one here, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought that.
All right.
I guess it was.
And you know what I forgot to do? Is there sound that goes with it?
No.
No. Okay. For some reason. So what are you recording off of?
It's a night vision camera.
Okay. So you have this is a cell phone recording of a night vision camera screen? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
When we posted it, I was.
Oh, there we go. Okay, there I see it.
Oh yeah, you didn't. Yeah, that's clear as day. Wow.
Yeah.
All right, there's the coffee cup. Nobody's moving with the light.
No. The camera is stationed.
Yeah.
Now, the reason it's moving is because evidence that night, and I recorded it with my cell phone because I had like 4 hours worth of stuff to go through. So I was so excited when I seen that. I was like wanting everyone's opinion, and so I just recorded with my phone real quick and posted it. But
okay. So in the beginning, it's just part of the screen.
The camera's not moving. It was just the way I recorded to kind of move along with it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I use night vision cameras, and they're stationary cameras. They don't pick up on sound.
Okay. And then let me grab for
nice
Bill's.
Nice. That's a nice catch.
All right. Need to find that message again. So.
And Mandy, that was at a funeral home you said that you were
Yes.
at? Okay.
This is a new location in Felicity, Ohio. Broadwell Funeral Home.
Wow.
Wow, that was interesting.
Yeah.
And where are you based out of again? For our audience?
Oh, we're out of Ohio, Marion, Ohio.
Marion, okay. So we're all pretty much northeast.
Cincinnati.
Okay.
Jennifer,
I'm in Cincinnati.
Okay. All right. Let's see what we got here. If we do it again, so. All right, Bill, what do you got going here?
Okay. Took this picture, and Chris alluded earlier in the night, like photos that you take or things that you do when you're least likely to do it. And not looking for anything. Sometimes you capture the most interesting things. Where you're circling there, I don't know if you could zoom in on that, Mike.
I'll give it a shot without doing a screenshot of it.
That was in a hallway looking out the window to the outside. There's a dormer right outside that window from a doorway, a doorway.
This is in Sudbury, Massachusetts at the Longfellow Wayside Inn, which was built in 1707. It's one of the oldest. It is the oldest inn in America, the first inn. There is the legend of Jerusha there, who was the caretaker or the owner's daughter, who was built to lover England, the whole thing. And there's a secret society. If you look at that photo, I'll bring it in the Facebook thing on the lower right-hand corner. And when I posted the picture, it was just one of those pictures. I like looking at flags, And when I saw that flag, we were on the second floor. Looking out, took the photo. If you look at the photo, you can tell that the woman is on the other side of the glass.
Well, first of all, you can't see the woman when in this shot until you zoom in. At the bottom.
What?
And now that is the second story. Looking outside, there's no room on the other side, and it's a
Is
room.
she looking in? Is she looking in? Is that? Is she?
Yeah.
Looking in?
It is
outside looking in. That's crazy.
She's on the outside looking in.
Now there was a fire on the location, and we're unclear as to whether or not when they rebuilt that the house was pushed back a little, which is possible. But that was just merely me walking, and I said, "Oh, cool! I'm going to take a picture from the inside at the flag from the outside and captured that."
So what's this spot? What's this spot? Talk about Paragolia here.
Well, you know what? We haven't figured out who that is. If you actually look at the image, there's a few different people within that picture. There's a guy in a short sleeve shirt sitting at a table in a bench. As you go through, and we hadn't noticed until someone said something and we started looking at it closer. That night, we also had a woman talking to us for the longest
time. Yeah, she sat and talked to Chris and Janet
for a long time, giving us details about the home, but
nobody else
no
saw
one
her.
seemed to know who she was or what she might have been doing there. I mean, it was one of those, we thought we were talking to a live person, but no one could account for her.
So Mike, what you're talking about, that's the outside. That's actually like one of those half circle driveways when you pull in.
Yeah.
And snow.
You take more than one picture of that at the same spot, or was it just one?
Oh no, there's a bunch of pictures that I took in succession. Same spot. Only one of them had that capture in the corner.
Wow. That's a good catch.
Yeah, it is. Wow.
And we can't figure out. There's no photos of Jerusha.
Little boy.
And it's a woman.
Is that a woman? It looks like
you can see her
the bun in her hair too.
Yeah, you see the dress.
There's actually a photograph reversed, not a photograph, a painting of Jerusha, but it's from behind, and it's the same dress.
Really?
Oh wow! Huh?
That's awesome.
That's amazing.
See the lace fringe around the
Yes,
top.
and it was second floor in a.
Woo! Look at that one. Oh yeah. That is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but you just need to,
Sometimes you just need to take pictures for no reason.
no reason. Another great one is a video that's up on our webpage if you ever want to check it out, was at Vulture City.
Oh yeah. The door slamming in your face.
The brothel, 3 times. I mean, it's interesting. I mean, you never know what you're going to get. And it's just a bunch of us. It was Mish, and Amy, and Chris, and I. We're all hanging out front talking, and we heard a door shut. And we're like, hey, nobody's supposed to be in that building. And we went over to see and captured 15 minutes of the most unexplained stuff that you'd ever see. So you never know when it's going to happen or where.
No. Mm-mm. I know. I was at the Statler one time with doing a tour, and I was with Connor. He ran that. He took care of, for anyone who doesn't know, the Statler in Buffalo. And we were by the guest elevators. We always use the surface elevators or the stairs, and those elevators, number one, the building gets locked once we're in there and we start, so nobody can get in. And then those elevators require a code to move. So he's bent down, and I'm holding the flashlight over this bag that he's rifling through to find something. And it's where we let people kind of go to a certain extent on their own and look in a certain area. So all of a sudden his head shoots up and looks at me, and his eyes are popping, and I'm not even paying attention. We were like 20 feet away from these elevators. And all of a sudden I realize I'm hearing this elevator. He looks at me and he's like, that's not supposed to be moving. We both sat there and looked at this elevator. It literally got called up to the floor. The doors open, and my heart was pounding out of my chest. I'm like, oh my God, because I picked up on nothing. So that's very unnerving as a medium when you're not getting anything, which can happen, right? And you're like, holy crap. And we both looked at each other, and then I don't know, 10, 20 seconds later, it closed, and it went back down, like it was called back down. Didn't even stay. Wow. It just went back down, and we looked at each other like, what the hell? It was a really cool experience, but it's one of those things where it totally catches you off guard, and never even thought to take my camera out on that one, because you're paying attention to the, you're kind of, right. Watching everyone else, still making sure they don't go where they're not supposed to go, and just keeping track of everybody. And I was like, oh my God, that was crazy. And even I think it was partly just to see his face and the building by himself, he's the king over there. He handles everything, and for his head to shoot up and look at me the way he did, I was like, oh my God, you gotta be kidding. But it was awesome. I mean, part of me's like, we walk off that elevator right now. Oh, that'd be so awesome. Oh my God, I don't know if I'm ready for that. Okay, I don't know. You got all these things running through your head. Wish I would have thought to take pictures though, because I had the flashlight in the one hand, and I think I had other stuff, or I was holding something else for him. So I know. Sometimes it's just meant to be for us though too, I think. Sorry, Michael, go ahead.
No, it's okay. I finally have given up on the background noise. I have an idea where it's coming from, and I'll address that later. But my question to all of you, especially because some of us share career paths, how many of you guys see hoaxed material coming into you?
What is it?
Good question.
Fake
material?
Yep.
Oh yeah, fake material, fake location, fake history. Yep. Seen it all over the years.
Not too many intentional. A lot of the private investigations that we do, we can usually debunk what's going on. But yeah, nothing really intentional.
We've seen a number of intentional private places, privately owned, open to the public historical places. We've seen a few that were BS. And the ones that, we go in and we find there's no activity, we like to go back to. because just because on one night there's no activity doesn't mean it's not happening.
Haunted.
But this is why research is so important, is because when you really start digging into the history of not just the house or the people, but the land, the town around it, the historical ongoings around that time, you'll start to find answers to discrepancies. So research is extremely important, and Bill is fabulous at digging up things. So there's times we've had to cancel places because the history of it was not what we were told.
I mean, we were at one location, and it was it's actually where we met one of our team members for the first time. And this was years ago, and it was a very hot topic. The house that we were invited to come down. They picked a whole bunch of people to come out and take a look at this house and try to get answers. So they brought different members from teams in different areas to this location. And we were there. And when we got there, I mean, I was the tech guy. All right, I'm going to look for different things. This is where we're going to go, set up cameras inside, outside, whatever. And the owner of the house was being very specific as to where the cameras had to go. And I'm like, oh, no.
Big red flag.
How this works, buddy.
Before we even unpacked the gear, he was at the car door going, you're going to put your camera here, and here.
And I'm like,
and this is what you're looking for.
And,
dude, I'm going to put the cameras wherever we feel the energy.
It was we used to Connect for the first time way back, the SLS camera.
Oh, wow.
Before anybody really had one, Steven had one while we were down there, and we got to use that. We kind of knew how the imaging and stuff worked. And, you got to be very careful because people can plant things within the house or whatever, stick a walkie-talkie in a vent and, turn the volume off so it's not going to make any noise and, key it up. And that's going to set your REM pod off or your K2 meter off. And, so you got to be careful. And this was some of the things that these people were doing at this, location. So,
but you also get especially in private residences, where you get stuff that they're truly scared. They're convinced that the hair spirit is moving the hair on the deer head over the couch, and the tag on it is blowing around and the hair's lifting up. And you go into the home and you start looking behind the couch and there's forced air heat. And that heat's gonna push that deer hair around. So it does happen intentionally, non-intentionally. The ones who are intentional, I love blasting them because I, at this point, been doing this long enough and I'm old enough at the point I don't give a rat's ass what people think. So if they're trying to fraud people and make money off of that, I'll call you out in a heartbeat.
That's why when we do residential cases, I like to do a sweep, kind of get a feel, go in and see, make sure, there's nothing like that going on if possible.
Right.
We've never came across anything like that except for Jennifer. You remember the one that we were going to do this case? I think it was up around Toledo. And remember the pictures that were sent?
They use a ghost app and added ghost into the pictures. Yeah. And a lot of people have been doing that.
And they had recordings of it was crazy. It just we told them no, sorry,
Now, you also get the ones who are straight up crazy.
Oh yeah.
They're like, you're gonna think I'm crazy, but okay. We had the one private house, and that, but you've all run into this where it's a private location and they just want notoriety. They want to be told their house is haunted so they can be on TV.
Yeah.
So this house, we're talking crazy, and the fact that she wanted to be on a TV show. Multiple teams in prior to us, which we found out once we were there. And throughout the entire night, she was drinking lots of water because she was just getting over being sick. And the night got weirder and weirder. And by the end of the night, she had tall glasses of vodka all night long. And as we get something, she didn't have a lot going on, but she did have something. And she's yelling at the speaker going, Edward, I thought you loved me. It's like,
Yeah.
we need to get out of
Gotta go.
Same. Mike is going crazy over the cricket that's interrupting the show. But while we were there, she showed us a video, and you could hear clicking. And for those people who use iPhones, I don't know why you do, but if you use the iPhone and when you would tap on it, the way that it piped, it was the same. It was the same clicking, and she's going, "Do you hear that? It's the spirit talking to me." And I'm like, "Do you have an iPhone? Yeah, it's you texting. It's you."
We pulled out an iPhone and went, "Here, listen." Oh no, that's the spirit. Turned out there was more than alcohol. There was drugs involved. There was abuse.
Did they have some weird stuff going on? Yes,
but we pretty much think it was manifested from all the energy in that house.
That's what I was going to get ready to say.
It was just the manifestation of their negativities.
Well, that's another thing. If you don't know what the histories of the houses are, and we go back to your question, Kristie, about men and women when they investigate, and how they're affected during an investigation is interesting sometimes. Because you could go to a location that maybe was farmland, 200 years ago, and this guy used to beat the crap out of his wife and his kids. All right. And you have in today's world a man who exhibits that same energy in abuse, and it becomes worse because they're feeding off each other. I feel. That energy. So, you need to know that's where research and doctorate, comes in, and, don't turn leave any stone unturned. But you need to be able to watch your team members, and see how they're going to interact and how, what's going to happen, how they're going to change. I mean, you need to know personalities of your team so that you know if they're in trouble or not.
Absolutely. Jay, what do you think?
A lot of the things that I come across and a lot of the situations that come up with my prior investigations is loneliness. We'll have a lot of, older, seniors that just lost a family member, just lost a pet, even, and they'll call up saying they're hearing something. And when we, make the appointment to come over and do like a preliminary investigation, they're like, "Oh, okay, what time do you get here? Because I'll order pizza and I'll get soda and we'll have drinks and stuff like this." And they'll make a party out of it. And it's like, okay, this place isn't haunted. He's just lonely. And that's probably the most common situation that we come across.
Really?
Yeah.
That happens with a lot of the Bigfoot ones.
It's the hardest one that we have to, find a way to tell them that no, nothing's really going on. And that makes it difficult. But it does happen quite often.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Honestly, I have not heard of much of that myself, so I would not have thought that.
Yeah.
But it's true. And that's what, Mike, what were you saying? Because I know that's come up for you a lot.
That's happened with a lot of the Bigfooters and stuff like that. Usually they've broken up or had a relationship that's fallen apart, and they're just looking for somebody to hang out and go out in the woods with. It's and not to me as much as some of the other researchers that I work with is that, hey, what happened? What's going on with your life? And you find out that, their girlfriend or their wife or their husband left them, and like all of a sudden they're seeing Bigfoot because we used to go walk in the woods or something like that. And when you ask them what's going on, they're like, "I have huge feet." Well, that Steve tells me all the time. Like, "Oh, how tall is the grass?" Well, it's about 3 foot. So you see the feet. It's just crazy. Jay, before I completely forget, you spend any time up at White Lady's Castle?
No, I drive past it all the time. I've been there once years ago, but that was a tough one because it's a very popular area. And anytime you go there, there's a lot of people around. It's a very popular hiking trail, and it's right on Duran Beach. And so it's very, very popular.
That for the rest of you guys, it's an old house gathering spot or whatever, but stories and folklore designated it as this white lady that lived there and stuff like that. And it's, if you're a Rochester or Western New York investigator, everybody goes there. And
really
you know,
that
was
every city has a white lady, you know. A white
lady. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
they've made multiple movies, but like that was like the hangout when I was in high school. Everybody went there, you know. It's just before I forgot. Oh yeah.
I've never heard of any sightings. I just always hear of the folklore.
Yep. And to go along with the hoaxing, are there locations that you guys have been to that you wonder if they're being hoaxed because there's one too many cameras already preset into a public investigation spot? Like there might have been something there at one time, but now we're starting to run more cameras and everything like that to catch something on tape?
Yes. Yeah.
You know, technology is our biggest enemy in this field.
It's good and
it's bad. And until we could come out with a bunch of equipment that actually collects data that we could share, that if Jay caught something and Chris and I caught something, that we'd be able, and we were in the same location different times, and Jay and I and Chris can share that information and share the tangible data. There's not enough equipment out there right now that works in that capacity. I mean, builders are starting to do this, and you know, it's good to see.
Well, I think one of the problems with technology is it's so easily manipulated. You know, when you go out with a cassette recorder and you're using a cassette, and for those of you listening, it's this thing in a plastic case, and it has a little film that wraps from one reel to the other and collects sound.
And you need a pencil too.
But video, all the digital, it can be so easily manipulated and altered. I'd love to see more and more people, and it's hard because it costs so damn much, but 35 millimeter film is an absolutely wonderful thing to take photos. It can't be manipulated. It has to be developed. You're going to get what you get on the film. Recordings with cassette players, less able to manipulate.
That's pretty, Mike.
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell are you doing?
There you go. Mike's got a tape player.
I mean,
Right?
I still use old Polaroid cameras when we go to different locations and do different experiments with them.
Polaroids are great.
You know, and not the newfangled Polaroids, the old Polaroids. You know, we have 2 land cameras, and you know, try to find film for those. It's sometimes a trick, but you know, change up the type of equipment that you use and go for a little bit different stuff on what you're looking for.
You know, I mean, you could even have 2, 3 different people decide, okay, we're going to take pictures right here, and we're going to take 4 or 5 at a time, and have 2, 3, 4 people at the same time take the picture of the same spot, just so you have that reference. It's harder. The more you collect, the harder it is to falsify.
The old style cassette recorders. There's a gentleman named Ron Moorhead that collected a whole bunch of quote unquote Bigfoot sounds, and Ron's really cool. Been on a couple of panels with him, but they were able to collect those sounds because they were using the old style cassette recorders. If you look at a lot of the audio, and a lot of people getting started, they might not know that using some of the new digital recorders, they're great to record yourself and what's going on in your face, but everything else, because of the noise canceling, you're missing everything else going on around you. So carrying one of those is just, I have found is much better, but keeping that digital recorder to get your own reaction. I don't know how many of you guys tape, you know, we tape for EVPs, but you tape yourself for a written instead of a written log, you know, again, you know, 4 of us coming from our backgrounds that we do, where you got to take notes every 5 minutes on everything you do and document, you know, where you ate lunch and where you stepped on, you know, didn't tie your shoes or something, you know. But Jennifer, do you have any, you know, thoughts on, you know, this kind of stuff? You've been kind of quiet down there in the corner. I never let anybody get away. I'm like a chainsaw through butter. If I see somebody missing, it goes everywhere.
I'm just sitting back listening, taking it all in.
That's smart. You just take it in. People don't know what you're thinking. That's a good thing.
and I learned that
sometimes. Yeah.
Jennifer, somebody's the voices you hear in the background are somebody's computer keyboard or speakers, and that's where we're getting them in. So I haven't completely figured out which computer it is yet, but I've got it narrowed down pretty close.
You missed it. It was hysterical watching him.
Are we going to reveal it at the end of the show?
Yeah.
Well, I did see Ryan on here, which is one of our actual viewers, and we do have a new adventure this weekend. I don't know if you guys have heard about it, but we are going to the Euro Shrine in Bristol, Tennessee with the Moonshiners from Discovery Channel. We also have Michelle Lee coming, which is a 3 Grammy country singer. We also have Outlaw Paranormal, and Banjo from Appalachian Memes will be with us. So it should be an interesting weekend. We'll be live. Oh, also Patty Negri from Ghost Adventures will be live with us from Los Angeles.
Wow.
Yes.
That is going to be an exciting weekend.
She's going to open up the portal table, the dragon portal table.
Oh, is that what you and I talked about?
Yeah, we've been advertising the Euro Shrine. I mean, for like 5 months. It is a very unique place.
Yes. Yeah. Now that everything's calm, I plan on joining you at some point. That will be awesome. I'm looking forward to it. Yes, that's gonna be fun.
Yeah, we'll have her live along with Safan, which is a magical practitioner that's going to be with Patty. Wow. That'll be live from Los Angeles. We'll be going live with her at 6 p.m. on Saturday night.
Wow, that's great.
Question from the audience: where?
Live readings from my mediumship page too. So if anybody wants to jump on Sunday nights, we'll be doing live readings.
Awesome. That's
great. Jamie, you can watch it from Ghost Sisters and Outlaw Paranormal. We'll both be live that night.
Okay. And so, Jay, because we do have to wrap up here soon. Of course, this flew by, even with all the technical difficulties.
I'm telling you, we need a 24-hour.
I know.
We'll even expand on that. We'll all do it in our pajamas.
I'll wear my 22-year-old bathrobe.
Glass of wine too.
It was awful. Oh my God. So Jay, where can people find you if they need your help or want to participate or watch or attend any of your events and know what's going on?
You can find us right on Facebook, New York Paranormal, and that's NY Paranormal, or under my name, Jake Ridley. You can find us there as well.
All right.
Yep.
Awesome. And the Reaps?
Facebook, Bill Reap, Chris Reap, Reap Investigations West Coast.
Yeah, you can find us anywhere of the states. You never know where we're going to be.
Right. Yeah, you guys are all over the place all the time. Love it. That's great. And Mandy, you said you have a Facebook page, right? Ghost Sisters?
Yes. You can find us on Facebook under Ghost Sisters, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. And if anyone out there is looking to have their somewhere around Ohio and you need your place investigated, just send us a message on Ghost Sisters on Facebook.
That's great.
And you said closer to Cincinnati, Toledo area is generally where you're based out of. I'm been one of those nights today with technology, so.
Mandy's up in Marion, Ohio, and I'm down in Cincinnati.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool. So we're all kind of in that little triangle there. It's kind of interesting. So.
And hopefully we'll be able to get together in person again sooner rather than later, And maybe we can do a marathon thing like in person. Wouldn't that be cool? We could actually take turns and do like a live something or other with readings, and that would be kind of cool. Find
Jay and I are close, so we can. Yeah,
you are. I know. Even Mike and I are like an hour and a half away from each other. So yeah, you guys are like neighbors. Yeah.
Mandy will be live. She'll be live with Patty doing readings on Sunday evening together.
That's awesome.
On all your social media, correct?
She'll be on her intuitive medium site on
Okay.
Facebook. Mm-hmm.
And I'll share it to Ghost Sisters. I'll be sharing it all over into different groups. Yeah.
Okay.
Very cool.
We can drop that into our YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're happy to share. Definitely.
Thank you.
All right, everybody. This has just been awesome. I thank you for all your patience, and to Brian and Chasity and Bobbie Jo, right? Was her. Really appreciate. And who was your other?
Candy.
Thank you. I'm drawing a blank on her name. I don't have my list in front of me. I don't know everybody yet. But thank you so much for everything and for being patient with the beginning. And it was so much fun having you guys on here. So hopefully we can do it again and future.
This was great.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you.
Yep.
Yes.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thanks very much.
Yes, best of luck. Stay safe with everything that you do.
You too. Have a great evening.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night. There we go. Yeah, we have a feed.
Oh, cute. His daughter. Wow.
All right. There we go. All right. Excellent evening.
Yeah, it really was. I feel so bad. We had to lose some people and the connection just didn't want to. Brian's connection wasn't cooperating, but hopefully we'll get him on again and, we'll be able to do more with that too. Excellent. So this was great. Yeah, it flew by. So next week we have some pretty cool guests coming on again. We have Brian Murray and Rochelle Stratton from A&E's Ghost Hunter show. They're going to join us. It's going to be awesome.
Excellent.
So yeah, can't wait. And then we have another Naked and Afraid.
Yep.
And, I should say Naked and Afraider coming up after that. So we have a whole big lineup coming up, and we've booked some investigations of our own coming up here in the next couple of months. So we'll be able to get out again. Keep your fingers crossed and say prayers for us, guys, that we don't get sick or hurt, because there's some big stuff with the Bigfoot thing coming very soon. The first couple of weeks of February is too. So some good announcements from me. So all right, folks.
Going on.
Excellent.
Thank you very much. And when's our next reading show? There was a question on that.
Our next reading show actually isn't until I think March. Let me just double check that real quick.
You know what? We'll find a day.
It's the end of February. February 23rd is the next one. But yeah, I think we're gonna have to throw another one in there.
Yeah, we'll find one maybe during the day or something like that, or on a weekend. We'll get something. So.
We're good for that. So we will definitely do that. They're fun.
Right.
We like doing stuff,
Yep.
Last minute
All right.
Mike, let's go.
All right.
So, all right, everybody. Thanks so much for tuning in and bearing with us tonight. Have a safe and healthy week. Stay healthy, and we will see you all next Tuesday night.